following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
1420 Sports Bar Podcast, for beer, the sports talk, and a whole lot more. Join host Brent Radlitz as he bellies up to the bar and gets the conversations going that'll make you think you're sitting in your local watering hole. It's sports, beer, and shenanigans, so sit back, grab a few beers, and let's get in. The 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, for beer, sports talk, and a whole lot more. Show number 415 on this 23rd day of October 2024. Tonight's show, as always, is brought to you by SeatGeek.com, the SeatGeek app. Use promo code 1420SEAT at SeatGeek.com today and save yourself $20 on your first purchase over there at SeatGeek. Remember, we are part of the Belly Up Media Network. Go to bellyupsports.com for all of their great sports articles and lots of great podcasts. My guys over there at Craft Brewed Sports put another banger last night. And, of course, friend of the show, Aaron Riley. Aaron with Brutally Honest Sports. Aaron, how are you doing? Running around, being a grown-up. How's things?
Take me back to when I wasn't, right? But no, it's been all right. I think on the sports front, I think you're probably doing a little bit better. It's October baseball, and the Yankees have found their way back to the World Series. But no, I'm doing okay, and I was glad to at least touch base with you and get back on here and talk some more. Some more baseball. Like we share interest, maybe not the same teams, but we share the same interests. So.
No, that's for sure. We'll get into some USC Penn State from a couple of weeks ago. What a great game. USC stinks. Well, I shouldn't say they stink, but they stink. They don't have any closeout. But we'll get into that a little later on. Aaron, like before we get into the sports end of things today, I was rolling around town, running around doing this and doing that, and being a quasi grown up sometimes. And I couldn't believe my eyes. Halloween's not even passed yet. And we haven't even gotten to American Thanksgiving. We haven't got past we have like Remembrance Day down here and Veterans Day down there. And we're not even past that. Today I saw Christmas decorations. I was beside myself, like absolutely beside myself today when I saw Christmas decorations. When is it with you, like when is it Christmas time? When does it come around? Because to me, it's still October. Is it way too early for Christmas shit?
Absolutely. I think like after Thanksgiving, like I wouldn't put them up before Thanksgiving, like because you got to get through Thanksgiving first. Not that not many people put up. I mean, you have your small crowd of people that'll put up inflatable like pink pilgrims and stuff like that. It's not really that big of a deal, but like to me, you can't roll them out at least till America. Like you guys already had your Thanksgiving from what I understand, but yeah. Until you're done through American Thanksgiving, like that Black Friday to me, it like signifies, okay, now we're like Christmas is the next thing. So until like I wouldn't even do it early November, like let Thanksgiving go, do its thing, have the holiday of Thanksgiving. Then you're like people that are putting them out now. I mean, come on, like that's we're not even in November yet. I mean, it's hard to believe Christmas will be here before you know it. And like, I don't know, time goes really fast in my opinion, but it's I mean that's great. I haven't seen that much around here yet. Honestly, I've not seen that yet.
Well, you guys got another monumental occasion coming up. We won't talk about that at all, but there's something coming up between now and then, anyways. But yeah, I was shocked because like how you're putting Santa Claus hats on the fucking Green Goblin for Halloween. What the hell's going on? But it's one of those things. Anyways, Aaron, the World Series set. We talked a week and a half ago. Had a great baseball conversation. For those of you haven't heard, make sure you go back and check on YouTube or the podcast there. We had a great baseball conversation that just kind of went from one thing to the other, and the other just kind of rolled through. But now we have Yankees, Dodgers. People are saying that's what was set up the way it's going to be. The team that spend the most money are there. Doesn't happen very often, but this time it's happened. Yankees, Dodgers happened Friday night. Spent the most money in baseball. First time since 1981. So 43 years since Dodgers. Yankees are going to meet up in the World Series, which is, it's kind of neat. You think back to Brooklyn Dodgers back before even I was born, the Brooklyn Dodgers, and I'm old, but people are complaining a little bit about the money. You can buy World Series, and now it was set to be, you put Ohtani on the Dodgers, and they're in. The Dodgers have been there a number of times. The Yankees haven't been back in the World Series since 2009, so 15 years for the Dodgers or for the Yankees. I'll flat out say it, Aaron. or asking the question: is this World Series matchup good for baseball?
That's a loaded question, in my opinion. Just because I think the ratings will be through the nose. Like, you got the LA market, which is huge. You have like Dodgers fans are sprinkled throughout the country, whether they're bandwagons or not. That's a different conversation. But um, I just think these fan bases are huge, right? It's the Yankees and it's the Dodgers. Like, it's these. I mean, you can't pick two. I mean, who else? I know the Phillies have a good fan base out of the NL, the Mets, but like I still think the Dodgers by size, like the state of California is, just a massive, massive area. And then you're talking like,
There's more people in California than there's in Canada.
yeah,
True story.
that is something to think about, right? Like it's
Yeah.
mind numbing almost, but like you got to figure, most people. I mean, obviously with the A's situation, I mean, the fan base in California it belongs to the Dodgers, whether they like it. It's like the Lakers. I mean, the Lakers they own California in the NBA world, so. I think it's good for baseball and the fact that it's going to have a ton of eyeballs on it. Maybe it's not good for baseball for the parity's sake, but I mean, we had the Diamondbacks last year, so it's not like we don't have any teams that find their way in there with like smaller market teams and lower like the Rays have been in it, or at least they were in it once. Like it's not like we say if we saw Yankees Dodgers next year, that would be bad for baseball, in my opinion. If you're seeing because a lot of fan bases will tune it out, then it's my team has no chance, but I mean, you're going to have this every once in a while. You're going to have, two powerhouse, organizations go in. And I mean, I still think a lot of people are going to be rooting against the Yankees because the Yankees are the most polarizing. It's, you love them or hate them. I think the Dodgers are second in that category where you love them or hate them. So I think a lot of people have reasons to love to hate this World Series, if that makes sense.
I agree with you in the sense that I think it's good for baseball. More eyeballs will be on it, and baseball kind of has taken a back seat to obviously to the NFL and to college football. I think which is bigger than all of it. It's the way with we'll talk about it a little bit later on, but I can't see that like people last year were complaining about the Diamondbacks and the Rangers being in it. Well, who's going to watch that? I do because I'm a baseball dork. You do because you're a baseball dork, and that's just the way things are. So people were complaining about that. So now, okay, here we'll put the two best teams in baseball, and people are complaining about that. I don't know why the fringe fan feels the need to complain about it because what more do you want? Like what more do you want? And I think this is going to be a very polarizing World Series because you have the East Coast West Coast thing. You have the two biggest brands in baseball. You have Otani versus Judge. You have all the things that people if you had to write a script, if you're Major League Baseball, you say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to have these teams in, and this is going to happen, and people still find a way to complain. People complain about no matter what, everything, no matter what. But to me, this is maybe this year with your first year of Otani being he's been in LA for all these years in Anaheim, so it's you wonder how Judge or our favorite guy Mike Trout feels about this situation. But if people don't, what more do you want? If this doesn't bring people to watch baseball, I think baseball has a bigger problem than me and you are ever going to solve in the 1420 podcast.
Unfortunately. So, I mean, I think we've proposed, at least I have. I think you're in lockstep with the salary floor and the salary cap, situation. Like, I think they need to make it a more viable way for like the Pirates or the Tigers. Like, I mean, I know the Tigers made a move, made advances this year, but I don't know. I think that's one of the biggest problems that baseball suffers from. Like, last year, what I don't know. I'm trying to think back to all the recent World Series. I mean, the Astros. I don't know where they rank in payroll, but I know they had such
They
a
don't
good.
mind spending money.
They do. You say they do?
They don't mind spending money. They
Oh
they, they
yeah,
have pretty open wallet. Yeah.
yeah. I know. Like you can think of Altuve, Bregman, Kyle Tucker. Like there's guys making money, but I don't know. I mean, you look at the Yankees. I mean, they're not what as much as I'll tell you, I dislike them probably 50 times tonight, but they
That's fine.
like in the 90s, when they had, Jeter, A-Rod, Mariano, yeah, the list goes on. I mean, it's just like endless amount of superstars. I still think they, to a certain degree, bought their championships more. I mean, the Soto thing was a trade this year. It's not like they went out and just bought him. Judge is a homegrown product. Volpe's a homegrown product. Like Rizzo, I mean, if you're really talking about him, he's not that effective. Like that team they have now is, I can't hate how they built. I mean, I know their payroll's up there, but it wasn't the Goliath that they used to be. I mean, it really isn't if you look at like how they used to just buy everybody. But I I don't know. Like I said, I just wish it was a more level playing field. I wish, because we'll sit here and tell you how many teams are out of it for next year already, and that
Yeah.
to me, everything else, you try and make the game more interesting. You speed up the pitch clock, bigger bases, whatever. When three-quarters of the league is out of it on opening day, that's to me the biggest issue.
That's a major problem. I learned something earlier during the weekend there when the Cleveland was playing the Yankees, and it was a great ending to 10 innings in game 5, and Soto hit the home run, and on it goes. But then people were complaining about the Yankees. Of course they're going to complain about the Yankees, and they're buying this and buying that. But I learned something, because I do deep dives to not defend my team, but to learn a little bit things, so I can have something to say against people that say stuff. Apparently, the guy who owns the Cleveland Indians, or Cleveland Guardians, sorry, I can't remember his name. Apparently, he's the 5th richest guy in the United States. So he has an opportunity to go out and spend it. Let's just say he went out and got a Garrett Cole type pitcher and spent $35 million on a guy. Because that's what Garrett Cole. He's a guy. He's a part piece here, and $35 million. That's what it costs. That's just the going rate for a stud pitcher. That's just what it is. We talked about a few weeks back about if you're an NFL quarterback, you're looking at $50 million for a guy who doesn't do fuck all. So you're like, okay, well, if this 5th richest guy in the United States goes out and picks out a pitcher from God knows where in free agency, they very well could have won that series, because that series was a lot closer with the Guardians than a lot of people. Yeah, it was done in 5, but extra inning games, 4 games to 1, but extra inning, it could have went either way. If this rich guy says, you know what, I'm going to go out and spend money. I'm going to get a game 1, 4, and 7 starter. That's all I'm looking for. Cleveland makes the playoffs pretty much every year. If I can go out and get a guy in 1, 4, and 7, I'm going to compete with the Yankees. And to me, it's that simple, because all these owners, they have a few bucks more than podcasters do, and they can figure a way out to do it. Like I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Like when Steinbrenner at the end of the year, when the Yankees don't win every year, he must pull Cashman and goes, okay, let me get this straight. I spent $350 million again this year, and we still didn't fucking do it. Other owners could go, you know what? If I'm at 150 and I got a chance, add another $35 million, and I can put how many asses seats for 3 or 4 playoff games. That's not too far off the realm of possibility.
No, I agree. I don't know what's like. I don't know. I mean, I know business owners in my town and things like that, and like they hold on to the last. Like they lose $50, it's the end of the world. I got to assume that these sports owners to a certain degree are like that. I mean, you're talking a big disparity in money, right? Like these guys they wipe their ass.
Pennies make dollars no matter what. Like I agree with you, right. Man. I do.
Yeah, but it's like you would like to your point. Why is there a stranglehold on doing that? Like why are like you said, what if Cleveland said, you know what, we're going to spend $50 million next year, and I mean, you never know. They might take the Yankees to Game 7 next year in the ALCS. They might win the AL. Like you don't know. It doesn't, you can't buy a championship to a certain degree, but you can buy your way out of one. Like look at the Brewers, look at you name the Marlins. Like there's teams out there that are just you go up against these Goliath, like the Yankees, the Dodgers, these teams that are just like 1 through 9, a lot more dangerous than you. You got to be perfect. And like you said, I don't know. I mean, to me, yes, they just worry about money, but you're spending money to make money. And on that front, like, I mean, if you're a business owner and you're that successful, you got to think like these people are competitive beyond, you and I. Like they probably lose sleep at night. The fact that they lost these series, and it's like, Okay, so why not? Like, you don't see any like we're not going to see the Brewers made it to the NL, like the wild card. Are they going to spend any more money? No. Are the Cleveland Guardians, like, most likely? I'm not saying for sure, but like, are the Tigers made, strides this season? Are they going to outbid somebody for Juan Soto? No. Like, it's just not going to. It's I don't know. What's the reason? And like, if you're one of these owners, you got to think like, let's just make the plunge and see what happens. Like, I don't know why there's hesitation when you're making money hand over fist anyway.
Yeah, I've always like maybe like I don't know, like I've never talked to Hal Steinbrenner once in my life. Maybe one day I will. If they don't win this one, I'll make a call or write a letter and go and sit on his lap and say what the fuck's going on here. But like you just go, like when these other teams don't spend, you're like, well, but you have an opportunity, because it's not like the Yankees are blowing. It's not like they blew out the Kansas City Royals. It's not like they blew out the fucking Cleveland Guardians. Yeah, they won the American League East, but the Rays had a down year. The Jays had a down year, and so they got in. Like, and Boston had a down year. It's not like they won by 15 games or anything. Like if 20 million bucks can get you from 82 wins to 89 wins, that's 7 wins gets you in the playoffs, and then you just never know. And then that those extra playoff dates, like Yankee tickets, me and the wife, after we were in Medicine Hat at her dad's 70th birthday on Saturday night, so I didn't get to have as much fun as I wanted to watching the Yankee game. But we've started looking at prices and think, hey, maybe we can make this work. We'll go to a game or go to New York, and we have air miles and all that bullshit. But you think about, if you get 2 playoff dates, that pays for that guy. Plus,
I when you were making that
no,
point, yeah, no, I agree. But when you were making that point, I was kind of thinking of the flip side of that. It's like, if you're the Royals, you're probably thinking, oh, I mean, we weren't that far out of it the way we stand. So if we just, you got to think, like, I hate to think this way, but like, what goes through my head is, okay, the Royals owners probably like, well, we weren't supposed to be that good this year. We're gonna, like, these young Bobby Witt might be even better next year. So such and such player, like, they're gonna project these guys out and have every reason to hold on to every last penny. So then they think, oh, well, the Yankees went to the World Series, but us Cleveland Guardians, we were close. Like, we were competitive in almost every one of those games. So I'm on your side of the argument, but I guarantee at least some of these owners are like, you know what? What if the Yankees have like, they always think of the flip side. Okay, well, we can sneak in next year if X, Y, and Z happens, and we find a way in. And the Yankee, they'll think, oh, the Yankees aren't going to go every year, so like, that just gives them
and they don't. That's the thing, they don't.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, it gives the Cleveland Guardians the incentive to not spend money. You know what I mean? Like, they'll look at it like, well, if we don't spend the money and we get better, the Yankees take a step back. Like, they're going to compute all these things, like, just like the Oakland A's with Moneyball. Okay, we need 3 guys to replace Jason Giambi's or what, or Johnny Damon or whoever. But it's it's frustrating. Like, the Phillies spend money and they don't win. So like, there's I don't know. You get. I'm not saying you need the stars to align, but the Yankees definitely are on the good side of the coin this year with Houston, their kryptonite, not being a great team and them going out early. I'm not taking any credit away from them. They beat who they beat to get there. I just don't think
You only play you can play. You only play
yeah,
play, right?
I don't think the AL was that deep. I mean, the Orioles fell off a cliff towards the end of the year, and then, like, you had the teams like the Tigers. I don't know. The AL wasn't as compelling this year. I'll put it that way.
No.
It just, like, credit to them, they won, but the Yankees did. But it's just like, the field wasn't that great. It's good. Those teams are, they had to get there, but once they got there, I knew the Royals were going to get just annihilated. I just thought they had no chance.
I just find it funny that people complain about baseball being this, baseball being that, and then they're finally giving the match a dream matchup almost, like and people still find a way to complain, and I don't understand. Like, you could put, like, the Super Bowl last year was the 49ers and the Chiefs. People were gooing themselves over that. Like, fuck mayonnaise truck all over fucking the United States. Like, just it was like it was gross. Like, who cares? I could tell you who's going to win that game before it even started. Like, Mahomes is just better than everybody else in the field, so that's who's going to win. Yeah, it went to the whole thing was close, but I could tell you right then that they were going to win that game, and people were just like, "This is the greatest thing ever." We're Baseball physically has the two best teams. Yes, they spent a lot of money. The two biggest stars, the two biggest markets. They'll this World Series actually transcends baseball with the movie stars and the music people are gonna be in the stands watching the whole thing. There's nothing more that baseball could offer to a fringe fan because the NFL has a lot of fringe fans, especially when it comes to Super Bowl. Like, probably more than any sport, there's more fringe people watching the Super Bowl than there is anything else. Because the Super Bowl is more about all the bullshit that happens at halftime. And who was the halftime show last year? It was terrible.
Um,
Exactly.
shit. That's not good
Right.
though.
Right.
That's sad though. I should remember that though.
Usher. It was Usher.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah,
Yeah, it was
good on
Usher.
you.
So
Yeah.
all that stuff is happening, and everything else is so much more important. People are just, like I said, mayonnaise truck everywhere on a game that everybody knew was going to win. This one's a toss-up with the two best teams, the two biggest stars, and on and on and on. And people are finding a way to come. And people who don't even watch baseball are complaining about it. It doesn't make sense to me.
Is it because it's like the spoiled rich kid versus the spoiled rich? Is that why they're
Maybe.
like? Because that's why I hate it. I mean, personally, like, and like,
No, and I get it.
like, trust me, I when I grew up, like, the Phillies were not what they are now. Like, they weren't Mr. Moneybags, and like, I personally don't like building teams like that. Like, I can still root for them. It just doesn't like I don't like. I like to see a team that's homegrown win. Like when the Braves won, yes, I don't like the Braves, but I was like, that's a home. Like I can respect it. I
Yeah.
respect it more. But I mean, you at the end of the day, you're gonna buy players that win you games, and you're gonna like Soto. How much money has Soto made the Yankees out of that deal? You know what I mean? That trade, yeah, countless amount of millions. But it's yeah, I mean, that's personally why I hate. I mean, if it was Yankees versus anybody else, I wouldn't hate it as much. But it's like 1A, 1B. Like the Dodgers to me are Yankees West. Like they spend just as much money. They don't have the chips to show for it. Like obviously the Yankees are going for 28 or whatever, but it's like I don't know. I
25
hate
of
it
them
for
when
that
there's 8
sake.
teams in the fucking league, but whatever. Not
Yeah,
25,
they
you
should
know
they
what I
should
mean?
take some of
It's,
those away. No, I mean you can't take them away, but it's yeah, I don't know. For me, that's why I hate it. But I'm not a fringe. Like if you're a fringe baseball fan and you don't have hatred for either, like if you're a fringe baseball fan, you shouldn't have hatred because you don't follow it enough. I mean, you could hate the Yankees because it's the Yankees, whatever. But I don't like. I get what you're saying. Like, what else can you like? If you even if it was Yankees Phillies, which Philly has a huge market, it's not the LA market. LA market's huge. So yeah, I mean, I would have loved to see Yankees Mets with the field that was left.
yeah.
Subway Series, like the Mets, even though I don't personally like them, I really that you talk about Cinderella, they were the Cinderella in the postseason, and a Subway Series I've never seen it. I wasn't alive when the other one took place, so I would have loved to see just how that transpired. I mean, you would have so many Yankees fans at Citi Field, and then you'd have so many Mets fans at Yankee Stadium. Like you'll see it with the Dodgers, but it would just be like, boom, New York is just a blowing up, and I would have loved to see that.
Like I wouldn't have minded to see a Yankees Phillies World Series because they're both like out east and everything else, but like just bringing the West Coast into stuff, and it would have been great to see because I think the Phillies have a very good team, and their window is kind of closing, like we talked about a couple weeks back. But this World Series is quite compelling. We'll get into predictions later on today, but it's interesting to talk about. Like you talked about the Dodgers and Soto, or Soto was with the Padres, and the money that they've spent over the years and haven't gotten there. So spending money doesn't. It's not an automatic. It's not like you got to catch lightning in a bottle. Winning's hard. I've said it on this podcast for 4 years. I said it when I played fucking junior hockey and whatever. Winning is fucking hard. It is hard, no matter what sport it is or what level you're doing it. It's hard, and if you were able to just to throw dollar signs at it, owners would go, you know what? Let's spend 500 million because we're going to make this much. Like winning is hard, and if you're going to go over the tax, and I I I don't know if it's ever going to get to that point. Back when one of the very first shows I did back in 2020, when that little bug was floating around, how we all started this thing, but it when Steve Cohen, who's got how many billions of dollars, like he actually has like 14 or 15 billion in cash in the bank, like actual cash, not this fucking bullshit money. Like I thought this is going to be a game changer because this guy could go out and because he's a fan of the team, he wants to win, and he has actual cash. I thought that was going to be a game changer for the Mets. And yes, they had some stuff with the Wilpons and everything else, but is he good for baseball? Is the Mets owner good for baseball? Because because he's got 14 billion and he's got not even 14 billion cash in the bank, but is he like, okay, if you're gonna party with the big dogs, if you can't party the big dogs, stay in the porch, and maybe if you can't be an owner, then fuck off. Like if you can't compete, just because you have a billion doesn't mean you should be able to hang out with the guys who have 4 billion, 5 billion, 6 billion of equity, not actual cash. Like if you can't compete, like does there have to be some kind of an application to get a franchise? And if you like we talked about with the A's a few weeks back, if you can't if you can't give a business plan for what you want to do to win every 2 to 3 years to Major League Baseball and say, you know what? I don't know what we're doing. We just hope to get money from you guys, and we get MLB money, we get this money and that, and the .com money, and we don't really care. Should ownership have to have a every few years have a plan of how they can be competitive?
I think that's a viable option. Yeah, I mean,
I'm smart sometimes.
I just I don't know. That is the one. I mean, we rip the NFL all the time, and like I have buddies that like literally think the NFL is like the perfect sauce. I'm just and I give them every single reason why it's not, and I'll die on that. I'll watch it, and like I like the Eagles, but
Yeah,
the NFL as a product, I have so many problems with. Like I really do. But where I will give them their credit is it just feels like a level playing field. It feels like for the most part, every team's at least trying, right? Like some of these teams step on their own dick and whatever. Like the Raiders every year find a way to just be fucking horrible, and it's just the way it is. But you at least feel like these teams are trying. Okay, we're gonna slide up in the draft and get this guy. Like they're at least like thinking about winning. Like the Pirates are not. Are they? The Pirates owner probably is like, oh, the season starts tomorrow. Shit, maybe I'll head out. Yeah, it's just like they don't
they
care.
say we can't compete, but you know what? Come and buy a $14 hot dog.
Yeah. Yeah, that's well, what the owner of the Orioles said is which was really interesting. I talks cheap though. Talks cheap. But the one of the new owners of the Orioles said, I'm on the back nine of my life, basically. I don't have that many years left, so we got to win a World Series. So I mean, if everybody I'm not saying all these owners are like that old, but like if he means that and then goes out and spends the money to do so, I mean, you can't hate, you got to respect that, because it's like this guy wants to win a championship. Like the Phillies owner was in the locker room right when they clinched the division, and he's like, "Get me my fucking ring back." That's what he said. Didn't work, obviously. Didn't do much for their case, but we could go down, if we pulled up the list of MLB teams right now, we could say that owner doesn't care, this owner doesn't care, and we have just like the White Sox. They have they don't care. They don't care if 2,000 people go to their games, and that's a huge to make the game where we talk about it's such a regional sport. It would still be a regional sport, but like in the NFL, you got this guy going to this team. Oh, you got Russ Wilson going over here. You don't see baseball players jumping from, mid-market team to another mid-market team if they're good. Like you saw Soto leave Washington, goes to San Diego, who they spend money, and then he goes to the Yankees. He's not going to come down and play for the Orioles after this. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, he's not accepting a trade to the fucking
the Royals, like
Tallahassee Tiger Sharks or whatever the fuck, right? Like,
it's just like there's team, like we could rule out, and there's teams that made the playoffs this year that there's no way that they're going to go out and get him, and like that to me is the problem, because you're never going to spread the wealth out. It's going to be like, yes, we saw the Rangers do it, but they put everything together at the trade deadline, right?
They spent a lot of money. Yeah.
They spent a lot of money on Semien and who's Seager and some pitching. Like, they still weren't like a bottom. Like, they weren't like, oh my God, how did this team make? Like, you could make the case that the Diamondbacks were kind of like, wow, how'd this team make it? But they got obliterated in the World Series, and they really just rode their pitching all the way there, which give them credit. But like you said, yeah, I mean, why isn't baseball holding these teams accountable? It's just like the fact that we can have this conversation, and I'm almost certain it would make the game better, or at least, like we always say, a level playing field. The fact that, like, I don't know if it's Manfred and, like, the MLB, the people that run the show, if they just think we're doing it the right way, why mess with? I mean, we talk about baseball all the time. They're stuck in like they wait forever to put an instant replay in. They waited forever for a pitch clock. Like, whether you agree with it or not, they think about these things probably 20 years ago, and now they do it now. It's like baseball is I don't want them to change the game dramatically, because it's an imperfect perfect game, but it's there's serious problems when it comes to spreading out the wealth. I don't know. That's the biggest problem to me.
No, I agree with you, and it is too bad. And I think it's like Major League Baseball at the top, because shit can only travel downhill so far, and has to go back uphill eventually. And like, it starts right at the top with the ownership, and then to Manfred at the, because he listens to the owners, right? So if the owners say this, he does that. Like, he doesn't come up with any ideas how to fix things. He just gets told what to do, and he's just the face of baseball, and that's what it is. It's unfortunate. Um, it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out, because baseball has an opportunity this next week and a half, 2 weeks. I guess a week and one day, 8-9 days, where they have a chance to be a showcase right now. You have the two biggest markets in the United States. You have the two biggest TV markets, two biggest teams, two biggest franchises. Um, if baseball ever wants to be relevant again on this level, on the NFL level, and it's tough with college football. And I like how the MLB didn't have a game on Sunday. Don't fuck with the NFL, because people will watch the fucking Ravens and whoever the fuck they're playing for no reason, but whatever. To stay away from Sunday was smart for MLB. To start on a Friday night, that's smart. So they have a chance to do something here, and having all the games on prime time. The baseball has a chance. If this doesn't catch on, Aaron, is baseball officially, on life support?
I don't think it's on life support, only because they play so many games. I mean, I don't think the Oakland A's are the first casualty franchise in baseball. Like, I think that is a big time, realistic thing we're gonna see. Because, like, how long can the White Sox sustain, like, how bad they are? Nobody goes to their games. TV ratings got to be completely garbage. The Tampa Bay Rays get nobody to go to their game. Like, these franchises aren't going to survive forever. That's where I think the problem's going to be. I mean, the Yankees are never going to skip a beat. Even the Red Sox, like the Cubs, like these marquee, the Phillies. There's a lot of marquee franchises still that I don't think they're ever going to be on life support. But the like the mid-market teams, I mean, yeah, at some point you got to think, something's gonna give if ratings go down year after year after year. And I mean, like, my generation, I know, just doesn't watch baseball like probably your generation does, and it sucks. Like, I wish everybody's so, like, football is like instant gratification. There's something going on every play, and I think that's why people are like, oh my God, football, there's nothing better than
It's a TikTok generation.
And don't get me wrong, I love myself some football, but
I'm with, like, I get it. Like, I get it, Aaron. Like, I totally understand, but like, people want action now, and
yes,
they want something now, because it's like we were podcasting, we got things on Twitter and Instagram and this and that, whatever the fuck. People will just keep scrolling by, but if you see something cool, then they'll this way, and that's what football is. It's like, now, I think something's happening now. Because Deanne, like my wife, she's smarter than I am, but she said something really smart. She says, baseball's a thinking person's game. It takes a while. It takes a while, and you watch it, and it grows, and you watch it. Whereas baseball's bam, something's happening. Hockey's bam, something's happening. It's not a better sport, but there's just always something happening that gets people's attention, right? Whereas baseball, it's not that way.
But
So
no,
we're smart people. They can sit back and relax. Dumb people need something right now. I
well,
shouldn't have
and
said
that's
dumb
what I love
people,
about
but
like the
yeah.
regular season baseball. You can kind of, you can chill out, miss a couple at bats or whatever. Like, and people say, "Oh, well, that shows you how boring it is." No, it's just a different level of intensity. It's not this, but when postseason baseball's on, and I'm watching that,
Oh,
I feel like every pitch is like magnified. Like, and they say that all the time. Every pitch is magnified, but to me, I'm like, holy shit! Like, and every sport in the playoffs is like you can tell it's like it's like you take your TV and hit the fast forward button because everything's
yeah.
just going faster. But baseball, like in the, I don't know. I grew up playing it. Like I do have a bias to it because of like the emotional connection I had from a little kid. But
Yeah.
like you said, I mean, it's a thinking man's game, and like what I like about baseball, there's no clock. Like you can't just sit out there. Oh, we're winning by 3 runs. Garrett Cole's going to take 20 seconds to throw this pitch because the inning only lasts a minute. Like football, basketball, hockey, you can dick around with the puck, you can dribble the ball around. Football, you can kneel the clock out. Like baseball, you got to get 27 outs. You could be up 6 runs, but I mean, we saw the Mets come back how many times? Like you have to execute, and obviously you have to execute in other sports, but there's no buffer zone. It's like you have to get the out.
You can't take a fucking knee in baseball,
No,
right?
can't
You
you
can't.
can't be holding the puck like in your own neutral zone,
Just
forever.
skate around
Yeah,
and
dick around.
whatever.
Basketball, they're fouling. You have 50,000 fouls in the last 2 minutes. It makes you want to poke your. I don't even watch basketball anymore because it's just not what it used to be, in my opinion. And yeah, I mean, baseball, like, if you can appreciate the game of baseball, like, I mean, as much as I don't like the Yankees, as much as I don't like the Dodgers, those stadiums are going to be like you'll be able to see it on TV. Like, it's
It's
just
going to be
bananas.
electric. Like it's going
Yeah.
to be something else. Like on Friday night, I watched the game. It didn't come downstairs. I don't know why the wife wanted to talk or something. I don't know. It wasn't listening. But I had the game on upstairs there, and she was talking. I wasn't listening. The game was on, and when Rizzo dropped that ball, that error in the eighth, I actually crumbled. Like I actually fell to the floor, and my hand from my head. Like what the fuck, man? Like I was like Jesus. Like and baseball has that opportunity every pitch, and when it especially now in these last 4 to 7 games, it's going to be like that for a lot of fans. And then I think this thing is going to pick up. Maybe not for you, but a lot of bandwagon people are going to pick up on this series a little bit, and they're going to jump on a Yankee thing or they're going to jump on a Dodger thing. And I really believe that this thing's going to pick up a lot of steam over the weekend, especially if they split. If the two team, if they go 1-1, this thing over the next 7 to 10 days, I think it's going to pick up a lot of steam. There's going to be a lot of people jumping on the bandwagon for baseball, and I think that this series is going to be really good to bring bandwagon jumpers in and fringe people to watch the game. And I actually also think young people, because I'm around like at the ballpark all the time. I think a lot of younger people, like from the ages 14 to 18, 19, are going to start to watch baseball again because this is going to be so big, not just on I think it's on Fox, but it's going to be so big on social media. I think this is going to be a major. I think this is gonna help baseball a lot. I really do. I
I,
hope.
and like I'll tell you, how many times this matchup to me is like awful, but it is good for the bigger picture. It's probably the best thing that could have happened. And like you said, I mean, if it's spread on social, like that's what baseball needs. They need them. I know it's the World Series, and everybody knows it's the World Series, and it's the Yankees who market the. They have one of the. They have their own network, for Christ's
Yeah.
sakes. But and then the Dodgers and everything else. But like they still need to pump it out. Like to my generation, the TikTok generation, social, like just put it in front of your face till you're blue in the face. And I mean, for baseball's sake and just popularity's sake, I hope it does go 7 games. I hope it's dramatic. Like I don't want as much as I want to see the Yankees get like wiped off the field. I want it to be a 7 game series where it's like the ninth inning. I mean, why not? Like if
Yeah.
it's two teams, even last year, I mean, I was kind of pulling for the Diamondbacks just because they were Like,
Oh, I was too. Yeah.
it's just like nobody in the whole wide world expected it. But
Anytime a team in Texas can lose, I don't care what fucking sport it is, I'm good.
I'm with I agree with the Cowboys. Everybody else, I mean, I have no like hatred towards anybody else, but
I hate the Astros. I forgive them, but I'll never forget. I hate the Astros. I don't actually, you know what? I don't hate the Cowboys. Like, we'll get off track here a little bit. Who cares? Podcast doesn't matter. Uh, I don't hate the Cowboys for the simple fact it's comic relief every Sunday, or actually every football season. It's comic relief because Cowboys fans, and I'll say it, Cowboys fans might be the stupidest motherfuckers on the planet. They might be.
See, like I'm not around enough like that. I am fortunate. Like there's other fan bases that I'm around that just they annoy me more because I'm around it more. Like there's Yankees fans that I'm around that are just like so obnoxiously annoying that it ruins it for me. Which Philadelphia is the same way for everybody else. Like so, I get it. Like I'm not saying that I belong to the Peace Corps organization or anything, but like the Cowboys fans are just like they think they're the best every year. Like I give them credit. I mean
Fuck, are they stupid?
They
I appreciate their loyalty. I do. I appreciate their loyalty. But Jesus Christ, most of those fucking three teeth motherfuckers, they've been divorced more times since the Cowboys have won a Super Bowl. Like just a playoff game, even.
Look at the like if you ever see the Buffalo Bills fans online, like those people are maniac. They're out there with no shirt, jumping off. I mean, I guess there's nothing else to do in Buffalo. That's probably part of it. But like they went to 4 Super Bowls and lost every one of them, and those people are out there like losing their mind
and still think they're going to win this year.
Yeah, they think Josh Allen's the second coming, and it's every year. Like I don't know. I've always been a glass half empty fan because I mean I've seen every team that I root for get like choking. Philadelphia is probably if you look at like most playoff appearances without the a championship in that season, like they probably have it. Like as a city, I mean, it just feels like Boston. Any Boston team gets there. I mean, I know the Bruins. The Bruins have come up short lately, but like for a while,
they have 3. The Celtics have 3.
Oh, it's just
it's Patriots, the Red Sox. Like there's kids who are your age who've been to 14 fucking parades.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like when Boston gets to the playoffs, I'm worried because I'm like, fuck, those guys get it done. When Philly gets to the playoffs, I expect it to just be a train. Like the train's gonna fall off the track somewhere. It's just, do they get to the championship and then it falls off? Do they not get? So I don't know. I just think the Cowboys, like they've had massive success. It's been, they haven't won a Super Bowl since the year I was born, but they've had massive success. So I guess they're just like, well, we're still like they're living in the past, but they do have the 5 rings to hang on to. So I understand that, where a lot of these teams, like, I mean, Cleveland Browns, like all these fan bases, like, do they show up because they love their team, or do they show up because they think they're going to win it all? Some of these fan bases do, but like, I don't know.
I don't know, man. Like if like the Yankees give me a heartbreak every year, and it's not that I don't live and die with it like I do, but I don't. But some of these people live and die with it. Like I would break up with them, man. Like if it means that much and you're getting that distraught over it, like Jesus, like you're not that good. Like you're just not. And then and it's only 17 weeks. Like you're not that good. And then go and like.
I told myself after this Philly, because I saw the Eagles lose the Super. I mean, I saw them win one, but I saw them lose one more recently than they've won one. I see them losing the playoffs 8 million times. I've seen Penn State knock on the door of the Big Ten, not get it done. Philly's choking the play. Like it's just like now I'm trying to like rethink everything to where I expect them to lose in the playoffs, but I'll be happy when they win. I know it's a shitty attitude. Like people, I put a post up there a while ago, and people were like shit, like just destroying me on social media. They're like, you gotta have a positive attitude no matter what. But when
you don't,
it's like watching the same. It's like watching the same show on repeat, and you're just like hitting rewind and hitting play again. And it's like, okay, if they win, I'll be over the moon. But I've gone into it so many years like, okay, we're gonna win, and then it's like here we go. Like I see like the wheels falling off the train falling off the track, and I'm just like I'm distraught by it, and I'm like I should have seen this coming, but it's like it hurts, you know. It's like it's like I don't know. You don't expect to. It's almost like you don't expect to win, but you don't expect to lose. Like you're just living in the fact that like how did we fucking lose? That's where I'm like, how did this happen again? That's where
My
I'm at.
wife, she drives me nuts. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Like she drives me absolutely batty. But she has one of the best sayings of all time. Expect the worst, hope for the best.
I've seen
Yeah,
it's
right.
100% true, but I suck at
Like
it.
like she goes, if you go in, and then hey, it's good, and then, but you go in not with any any hope to win because we'll actually let's get in the USC Penn State game a couple weeks ago, and because she doesn't follow college football because every week because now the USC Trojans are over in the Big Ten, which is weird, but one of those things. Every year, because I'm a USC guy, and they lose the game. Well, they're done. And then a week later, they win. And then, well, they're not done yet. Well, no, they still got the Rose Bowl. So she doesn't really understand it. But this time, they're actually officially done. I think they're 3-4 right now. They lost to Maryland last weekend, which is a crying shame. And people say, well, they've lost 4 games by a combined 12 points. You still lost 4 fucking games. I don't give a fuck. Like you still lost 4 fucking games. Like people who say, "Well, they were close." Well, yeah,
I hate that.
yeah, I was close to taking home the prom queen, but I didn't. So
I'm
whatever.
so tired of like all these people that just hype up like, oh well, he's a good player, he's coming back. Like, dude, I can tell you right now that team ain't win. Like, I hear people all the time, like, oh my god, like all these Vikings fans are like through the roof that what is it, Sam Darnold's playing well. I'm like, if you think Sam Darnold's gonna go to the Super Bowl, you are doing
If
everything.
you think Sam Darnold's taking you past Patrick Mahomes, you are as stupid as a Cowboy fan.
Yeah, that's right. Like, I get it. I'm not trying to rain on people's parade, and I'm not trying to tell
Oh no,
people,
go do it.
but like
Piss on their boots. Piss
it's
on them.
like I don't know. Maybe I'm a glass half empty type of person in some respects, but like I try and live in a realistic like for me to sit here and be like, oh wow, the Eagles won 27-3 against the Giants this past week. The Giants are fucking they shouldn't be in the NFL this year. Like they like Alabama or who is it? Who's number one now? Oregon. Or I mean, or like people say, oh, that's crazy because you're taking all these NFL players. They're the best from college. No, half of them suck because they're on the Giants. They suck. Like they none of them. So throw Oregon against the Giants and let me see it at least. People say that's crazy take because like I said, the NFL is a mixture of all these good college players. Okay, well they can't. Some of them can't do it at the next level. So I'm seeing Oregon doing it every week in college. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I need to rethink it. It's so hard for me though because I go into it like a nervous wreck. Like when the Phillies were in the playoffs, I'm a nervous wreck. When the Eagles are in the playoffs, I'm just like fuck. Like I put so much like my blood pressure's probably super unhealthy, but it's like I look forward to that. It's like holy shit, the play because I mean the regular season's cool, but it's like just get me to the play. Like I want to be in the playoffs all the time.
And that's the one great thing about college football in comparison to professional sports is that college football is a playoff game every weekend. It really
Yeah,
is.
yeah, exactly.
Because
Yeah.
if you lose one, okay, we'll give you one. If you lose two, you're fucked. If you lose three, you might as well be playing fucking on Friday nights, let alone Saturday afternoons. Like it's over. And
Well,
it's crazy. Like we were like 2 weeks ago before we did we talked baseball, and then all of a sudden the Penn State USC game happened. That one went down to the wire. Great game, entertaining as all hell. And they lost, and I was like, well, that's second loss. Season's over. I hung my jersey up downstairs here, and we'll put it on again until next September. Like it's over. Like college football. I think like out of all the big sports, like if you want to factor in uh, college football into the big four, with you got basketball, NFL, hockey, and baseball. Uh, I think the one that actually is the most intriguing on a weekly basis is college football, and I don't think it's close. Like
absolutely.
because you could lose, like some team's going to squeak into the playoffs and go to the NFC Championship game and lose to fucking whoever, and then the other AFC team's going to lose to fucking Chiefs. Chiefs going to win the Super Bowl, and that's it. I'm telling you, that's gonna that's what's gonna happen. Like I'm telling you right now, this is a big prognosticator. Brent said in the 1420 podcast on the 23rd of fucking October that the Chiefs win the Super Bowl. Ooh, big surprise. You don't know who's winning college right now. Because this year, because Alabama's having a down year, Saban will step down, and Oregon is going to Oregon eventually, and Texas, and Georgia does this, and you just and Penn State might leak in, and Michigan, they're not as good because they won last year and guys left. Like you don't know because I think the thing with college football is you got a bunch of kids. They don't know what they're doing tonight, let alone tomorrow.
It's like, as much as I love baseball in general, like just the game of going to the ballpark, like I shouldn't even say the atmosphere because like college football atmosphere is insanity, but I don't know, the entire like vibe around baseball. Like that's just what I know. That's like my
Yeah, me
childhood.
too.
That's, you know what I mean? It's the comfort zone. But like I love football just as like, it's just a different way of loving it, I guess. But like you said, that's I don't know. A couple of my friends are like that. Like they try and tell me the NFL is so much better, and I'm like, dude,
It's
it
not.
doesn't even compare. It's like stale milk to me. Like a regular season NFL game compared to a regular season college game is not even in the same stratosphere.
Not even
Like
close.
as much as I don't keep up with USC. Like when Penn State went out there, you got the Trojan, you got the what is it?
All of it. Just
Like the
all of it.
stadium, like what do they call it? It's like the Olympic Stadium or whatever.
Memorial Coliseum, yeah.
Yeah. So like everything. Excuse me. Everything that entails with college football is like it's a big deal every week. It's a big
The tradition because I think Darnold came out and led the Trojans on the field that day from the 2006 17 Rose Bowl game, and the tradition of college football is so huge in comparison to what the NFL is. Like there's no comparison. Anybody wants to at me on this, I will fucking fight you to the bitter end. Nobody cares who wins a fucking NFL game. Nobody. They care about their fantasy team. They care about their fucking their pick 'em. All on and on it goes.
See,
Nobody cares.
doesn't like them integrating like I'm not saying it's a bad, like it was a great idea. Obviously, it brings more eyeball. Like you now you care about the Panthers running back. Like who gives a fuck
Yeah.
before? But like it's I can hop around college football games as much as like I'm a very like if Penn State's not playing, it's a down. Like this past week they didn't play. Shit. Like that takes a huge like damper on. But like
Yeah.
if it's like you tune into Texas, Oklahoma, it's a Red River rivalry. Like there's just so many different, and like the atmospheres and like the guys coming through the tunnel at Virginia Tech playing Enter the Sandman. Like it's just
Unbelievable.
Like, it's the I mean, and I've always said like the fact that it is so cutthroat. You lose 2-3 games, it's over. Like the NFL doesn't have that urgency. It's like you said, a team can go 9-7, sneak into the wild card, and like we saw the Giants win how many Super Bowls, against Tom Brady, and they barely snuck into play. They sucked all year long. And
I've always said this, Aaron, and people actually said, yeah, you're kind of right. A lot of people said I was a fucking idiot, but every team starts off 8-8. Now it's 8-9 or 9-8 because it's 17 games, which is also stupid. But every team starts off 8-8, and then they go like this: 7-9, 9-7. Every team's equal in the NFL, and then it just goes like this. Whereas in college football, because you're dealing with kids who have a bad week or a great week or something might happen, knocked up their girlfriend, all of a sudden he goes fucking 3 for 16 with 4 interceptions. Like, oh fuck. Like it's not out of the realm of possibility. College football has so many variables. NFL is so like it's this. The guys are it's cook every team's cookie cutter.
Yeah, and
College isn't. It isn't. And then the thing about college football too, there's a lot of games because my father-in-law, he's a huge college football guy. He taped. He DVR'd. It's called tape. He DVR'd 4 or 5 games. He was up until 4 in the morning on Saturday night, Sunday morning, watching games because he just loves the rivalry that like Boise State played Oregon or something. He just wanted to watch it. Like it was like because the fun of it all, where it's just college football is, in my opinion, in this podcast opinion, college football beats the living shit out of the NFL, and it isn't close.
And I've said this too. Like I don't. This is just maybe something that's personal to me, but like, I mean, now I work Sundays, so it's like that takes a damper on it. But it's always been like Saturday. Like I don't know, Saturday has a different like Sunday. Everybody's like, "Fuck, I gotta work tomorrow." Like, it's just like like Sunday is like warm orange juice. It's like like Saturday is like let's fucking get after it. Like,
Friday night, let's talk about what we're doing on Saturday morning.
yeah, and like
we're gonna tailgate. We're gonna do this, going to the game, on and on and on.
it
I
has
can
a
sleep
different
all day
energy.
Sunday. It's gonna be some bullshit game I don't give a fuck about. Sunday, you wake up. I got to go to work Monday. So Sunday night, you got to tone her down because I got to work Monday.
Yeah, and
Saturday, you can get into her all Saturday. You can start Friday. You know what? Some people take Friday off. You start Thursday night. Start talking about your game. Because when I used to go to USC games, I go down there on Thursday. I had a routine. Go to Barney's Beanery on Friday, is in Hollywood. Have a good time there. Go to the tailgate on Saturday. Get into her. Fly out Sunday night. Perfect. Have a
yeah.
weekend, right?
Now think about it. You're getting into her on Sunday morning, Sunday, midday. Let's just say you work the next day. You're shit face, like it's starting to wear off on you 7, 8 p.m. Then it's really like shit. Here we go back to month. Like I don't like Sunday is never jives with me. It's just as people say, oh, you can make your own day as good as you. It doesn't have the same hit to it like Saturday, and then you got college
Saturday, man. I agree.
And the NFL does an okay job. Now they got Gronk and all those guys on there, but they're all fucking around. Like they're not taking it. Like and college football, obviously they're fucking around, but it's like you got the crowd behind. You got
college game day is way better than any production that the NFL has. And the NFL has 3 chances to do it with CBS,
Fox,
ESPN, and Fox.
And it's just,
and they fuck them all up.
It's just it doesn't. I even think if you because I don't know why they haven't ever put like if it's a Eagles Giants game like this past weekend in New York, why are they not out at the Eagles Giants? But like the atmosphere wouldn't be this. It's not. The college football is just you got the kids, so you got people just being fucking, buck wild already. Like you already have that, and then you integrate, people my age, out of college, whatever, and then you got older people, 30s, 40s, 50s. Like it's just like you got the mix. It's just a melting pot for just chaos. Like it's. I don't, and like you said, the traditions. There's so many teams too. Like you're talking 32 NFL teams. You got. I mean, every team in the SEC has shit going on. Like every team in the Big 10 or whatever that is, the Big 14. Like it's, to me, it's college. Like I can't. Don't get me wrong. When the Eagles are in the playoffs, I'm glued to that TV. But for a regular season, like Eagles game against whoever, I'm like I don't get it because like I have close friends that are like. The Ravens are playing at 1. It's like, okay, like
you know what it is, Aaron? They're lying to you. They're trying to be cool. That's all they're doing.
I don't know though because
they don't believe it either.
No, because
if you took them aside on a Saturday morning and said, "Hey, you know what Penn State's playing," they'd be like, "Oh yeah."
But the problem is
nobody actually gives a fuck about the NFL that much. They pretend to. There's some that do. I shouldn't say all.
There are plenty that do. I don't get it. I don't. Maybe it was what like my dad was like growing up. My dad, he was a Steelers fan and a Penn State fan, and I was always everybody at my school shitted on the Eagles. That's the only reason I started because everybody was talking like I want to be that underdog team. I want to be. But like my dad was like every Saturday morning at college game day on and like, yelling at the TV, Penn State, I was 6 years old. Like you know what I mean? So like, I think it's ingrained in me where like a couple of my friends, they like the one I got him into college football. He didn't watch college football until like 3 years ago. And I'm like, and he still doesn't think it's as good as the NFL. And I'm like, how can you've missed out on this entire time. And now you're watching this and you're not coming around to the fact that this is just like light years more exciting. Like, and I think like they love the perfect part of it. Oh, these guys run like they're perfect routes and yada yada yada. They're professional, right? But that's what makes college fun. Like it's like
So it
they're
makes sports fun when people fuck up. It makes things more exciting. When a guy
Yeah,
drops a ground ball at second base and all it's fucking mayhem going around. That's what makes it exciting.
yeah,
NFL,
yeah,
here,
wide
go.
open.
Back.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, it's great, and you're fucking 10-7.
And I don't know if you've noticed it because, like, I know you're not such like I might be more of the NFL guy than you. I don't know, whatever. But now that like
I haven't watched, Aaron. I haven't watched. Actually, no, that's a lie. On Sunday morning, where the fuck? We came back from Medicine Hat, and so I got here around 1 o'clock. Came downstairs, do a bunch of podcast shit here, and turned the TVs on, and Kansas City was playing
San Fran, I think.
San Francisco, and it was on. I went upstairs, and the wife, she says, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm working, doing podcast stuff, doing stuff." She goes, "You're watching the game." I said, "What game?" She goes, "Well, San Francisco's playing Kansas City." I said, "Oh, is that what's on?" It was like literally, it was this on. I didn't even look. I d- I don't care, and it's gonna break Jim, the fan of Van Plotner's heart. Like I don't care because I don't have a team. Like I follow the Niners a little bit, but maybe it's because I just don't have a team that I don't
I
care
just
about.
my
Maybe I'm so entrenched in baseball right now that I just really I don't care extra this year. Maybe I don't know.
I mean, like to each. I'm not trying to. There's people that like my dad loves racing more than any sport. That's his thing, you know.
Yeah,
Like I don't whatever you're into, but when it's apples to me, I just I don't get how people can say people that say the or that college football isn't as exciting as the NFL. Like I have to think you're on drugs or something. Like there's if you watch those apples to apples and you tell me like you have a split screen TV, you're watching Penn State USC that week,
yeah,
and then
awesome game.
you're watching Chiefs 49ers. I guarantee like that fourth quarter, I didn't even watch the game. I don't really if it's not the Eagles, I really don't tune in. I hardly do. But like, you know, I guarantee there was late flags on the 49ers and then the Chiefs got set. Like it's predictable and college is just like I mean, it's just like you have no idea. Like I don't know. The unpredictability is part of it. It's the atmosphere is part of it. Like the fact that they are kids and it's like just everything about it beats the NFL. Like I said, the NFL playoffs. I'll get into that, but like week in and week, if you're giving me, if I only can watch one, college football or the NFL, I'm taking college football 7 days a week, twice on Saturdays. Like, give me a fucking break.
What's Jimmy Plotner, our friend, the fan of the van. I started listening to a show yesterday, and I finished it today. He was talking about NFL and the officiating, and you alluded to it just recently, just a few seconds ago about the penalties. Like, you know, yeah, it's holding. Yeah, I get it. Like, I get it. Like every fucking play, there's holding. Like there's just holding. Like enough. Like just enough. I get it. Like I don't know. It's just eh. It's
I
eh.
just I you know
And
on my
and
end,
I'll be and I've said this before. Like when people say baseball is boring, I get it from what they're saying. I get it. If you never watch it, I get it. Football to me is like, okay, here's another flag on the field and go back 10 yards and try
well,
again.
I think there's two things to that too. Is like, and I'll be on rec. Like people have crucified me for that. My friends crucify me all the time. Well, why do you watch then? Well, I watch. Whatever. Fuck off. Like I'll say that the NFL is rigged to a certain extent, and I'm and you know
I believe that because I have heard and I have seen some highlights. I haven't watched any live shit, but there's been some things go the Chiefs' way this year just to make sure that they get through. Right, that's one from what I've
and
read, heard, and seen. Like from what I've seen on highlight packages, like ooh, that should have been a penalty. That should have been this. That should have been that. Yeah.
I forget. Oh yeah, it was that. Well, the Falcons guy got mauled in the end zone before the ball was there, and then
Yeah.
I'm not saying this because like I'm an Eagles fan, but I mean, you know, a certain extent, but like when the Eagles, Bradbury on the Eagles got called for that hold in like in the worst timing for the Eagles and the best timing for the Chiefs. I was like, okay, yes, it's a hold, but it wasn't enough to obstruct. Like the guy was not going to get. There was no way he's catching the ball anyway. Mahomes had to get rid of the ball. Like that play was not happening. I get fundamentally you have to call it, but like when I saw that's just one example. I'm not, and like I said, it comes to my mind because it was the Eagles in the Super Bowl. But like that, and just I hate I don't know. I don't like just bashing people, but like it's a podcast, whatever. But like these announcers when
Yeah,
like
no one's fucking
Mahomes,
listening anyways. Don't matter.
like Colin, it's almost like they have to hype up these guys because there's not much else to really talk. Like when Mahomes is on prime time and it's Collinsworth, like I mean the guy has his meat stick down his throat. I mean it's just like,
Did you happen to see that fucking shitty promo? I think it was on Fox. Yeah, it was on Fox on Sunday morning. We were sitting down for breakfast at the in-laws there, and there was this Batman, like Batman, and then it
oh my
was Patrick
god,
Mahomes in a Batman kind of costume, and then the light. You remember the like the Batman, the light over the city, and on and on, and then they had fucking Travis Travis Kelsey come in dressed up as Robin, kind of sort of with a mask on, and said, "Well, you're at your girlfriend's house again." I was like, "This is awful." And my brother-in-law, he's an NFL guy, he's a Bears fan, which speaks for itself. And he says, "What do you think of this?" I said, "I think this is really, really quite bad. I think this is awful." He goes, "Yeah, me too." He goes, "Someone produced it. Like somebody thinks this is good. Someone produces this." I said, "Yeah, on purpose. It was so bad. Like I'll find it. I'll send it to you. It was so bad, but people probably eat that shit up because it's the NFL, so it's got to be great. It was awful. Like I was
like
embarrassed for the person who put it together."
I think I don't know how to explain. I think it's like the NFL has like baseball, right? To their like they don't market the game the right way. I'll be the first ones to say that, but they don't make it. The NFL makes it corny. Like they make it like for lack of a better. It's just like they inflate it
Yeah.
for sake of inflating it. Where baseball is just like, okay, here's Sunday after here's Saturday afternoon baseball, Cubs Reds. That what you see is what you. They're not talking like
Yeah.
they're not talking about how O'Neal Cruz is like the fastest shortstop. I mean, they'll talk about it a little bit, but like they'll talk about Mahomes for like 25 minutes of a 60-minute game at least. Like
Mayonnaise truck.
it's
Mahomes walks into the store, mayonnaise truck, just runs all over him.
just
Yeah.
all of it. Like,
Fuck me.
it's just what is wrong with the NFL? I don't know. I don't know
The
why.
thing is, Aaron, is there's nothing wrong with the NFL. It's an imperfect game. It's boring as fuck to me. This is just me. I'm allowed to say this is my podcast. I'm going to say the fuck I want. There's there's nothing wrong with in their eyes because they're making billions of dollars. Billions. Players in, players out, whatever. You fucking rape a woman, you get to play. It's they can do no wrong, and I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
I'm not pushing back. I'm agreeing with you, but maybe the reason they do that, like it was Brady, like just nonstop down your throat, meat stick down your throat. It's just got to the point where, and now obviously they have. I think the NFL. I mean, in my opinion, like you said, it's your podcast. I'm gonna say this because, like,
you can say it on my podcast too. You say whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, there's people I talk to, and they're like, you don't have evidence that it's rigged, so you can't say it's. I see it with my eyes. Okay, in my opinion, it's rigged. From what I see, it's rigged. In my gut, it's telling me it's rigged. So I'm gonna tell you it's. But like the NFL, they lost Tom Brady, so they're like, all right, we need another because whether you like it or hate it, like a dynasty brings eyeballs to sports. So like
nobody brings two people together like they hate the third. Nobody. When two people hate the third person, more people watch.
Yeah, exactly.
When people hate the Chiefs because they're winning, or people hate the Chiefs because of they hate Taylor Swift because of fucking Travis Kelsey, it's just one of those things. And that's all it is. And so if they can just force it down your throat and have a dynasty, because I hated Brady. There was no reason for it. I mean, I didn't give a shit about football, but I just fuck, I don't want them to win again, and that's all it was.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
Trust me.
I'd
Oh
watch
my
4 games
God.
a year.
As
I don't
much
want
as
them to
the
win.
Chiefs, like, trust me, as much as the Chiefs win, and I think they win in imperfect, like, I think they get gifted wins. I will, like I said, I'll be the first, like, whatever, fight me about it. But like, I don't hate them, like, not even half as much. Like, I hate fucking Bill Belichick. I hate Tom Brady. I hate New England. I hate all the Boston teams. Like, everything about the
Yeah.
Patriots. I hate the logo. I hate like, everything about them. I just can't. They disgust me. But I think the NFL, like you said, I think the NFL thrives off that, and the fact that they can just Patrick Mahomes, like, where in college, it's like, okay, let's say USC is the best quarterback, he'll be gone in 2 to 3 years. So, like, if they can hype him up all they want, like
Then
JJ
I'm good.
McCarthy, yeah, like they'd hype up JJ McCarthy or the Michigan running game, like I forget that Michigan running back's name.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's the thing, like, I just think college lets the game be the game, where the NFL is like, okay, who's the quarterback of this team? Who's the quarterback? Oh, how does Jalen Hurts compare to Josh Allen? How does Josh Allen compare to Lamar Jackson? It's just like college is like, fuck it. It's number 3 versus number 8. Let's see what I got. Or let the game, make the noise. Not these NFL. I don't like any NFL. There's not one NFL announcer I like enjoy. I can tolerate some of them, and like the Eagles radio announcer, I like him a lot. But like these mainstream, like the Fox, the CBS, the who else is it? I mean, I like Kirk Herbstreit, but he's a college guy. He doesn't. You can tell he doesn't really give a fuck. Like,
No, they paid him, so he's doing it.
yeah, he doesn't have the energy for like
Herbstreit's great in college. Oh, he's so good.
Yeah, I've
Passion for it, right?
And he's an Ohio State guy, and I love him like a Penn State guy. Like, that's how much I have respect for him. And like in the NFL, like Gus Johnson, that guy's like does a bump every other quarter. He's doing a bump in the studio, and like he's saying the most outlandish shit I mean, the one time he said, that guy is running from the cop speed. When are you ever going to hear that? In the NFL, it's just like, oh, look at Mahomes make that amazing. Like, and they'll even say that, like, I saw it the other week. It was I forget who was I think it was Josh Allen or Lamar or someone. And they're like, oh, that's very Mahomey like. And I'm like, dude, he's not even playing in the fucking game. Like, he's not. The Chiefs aren't playing. Like, what?
No, I'm with you. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Anyways, Aaron, let's get into predictions. World Series starts on. I don't know how we got. I know how we talk a lot. This is what podcasters do. We just talk and go on tangents. But let's talk about the World Series a little bit. Obviously, I'm a Yankees guy. I don't know exactly how much faith I have in the Yankees, but predictions brought to you by Righteous Felon Jerky and RighteousFelon.com. Go to RighteousFelon.com for the best craft jerky in land and save yourself 15% on the jerky by using promo code BELLYUP. Aaron, predictions. You watch a lot of baseball, probably just as much as I do. Man, oh man, this is a battle of the heavyweights. What are you thinking? What do you got going on? What's your thought process and what's going to happen with this World Series starting on? We'll probably talk between now and the final, but the first 2 games. Let's do that. The first 2 games. What are you thinking for Dodger Stadium with the Yankees Dodgers starting on Friday night?
I'm always going to be partial to, like, who has the pitching advantage, which unfortunately, man, every direction I turn, the results aren't what I want. But like game 1, I mean, Flaherty was great in his 1 start, and then he got absolutely rocked in his other start. Guy that's bounced around the league a lot. Now he finds himself in the Dodgers. I guarantee he won't come back there. He'll sign with somebody else. Garrett Cole's like a staple. I mean, he's been with the Yankees forever. Pretty solid in the postseason. I mean, this year he's been exceptional in the postseason. I like I said, I always lean good pitching, but I took the Dodgers in 6 overall. But I mean, I'm doing that because I can't pick I can't pick the Yankees. I just can't.
No, I get it.
But I mean, like I said, from a pitching standpoint,
Trust me, Aaron. No one's going to Bet US or whatever on URI picks on this podcast. Don't worry about
No,
it.
they probably
You're
shouldn't.
not you're not costing anybody $1 million.
I just,
I hope.
well,
And if you
yeah, I
are
mean,
betting on our picks, you're an idiot. But go ahead.
yeah, we're not responsible for your
We're not
financial.
we're not responsible for financial indiscretions.
Right. So, I mean, game one, like, I'm
Unless
not
you
gonna
win.
give it. It's, this Dodgers team scare, like, the clear path to the Yankees winning is just the Dodgers starting pitching is not, like, Yamamoto is shaky, Flaherty's shaky. For the Yankees, I mean, the X factor to me is either, oh shit, what's his name? Rodon and
Rodon
Stroman.
scares me.
He's been all right though.
Yeah.
It's just like Cole. I expect Cole to go out there and light it up, and do his thing. Like, he's an ace. He's the guy. But after that, I have nobody. I have nobody on the Dodgers. I look to him like, he can go out and shut them down. So I think, like, the way I keep looking at this series is like, if you can, obviously, if you can limit Soto and Judge, you can beat the Yankees. That's my, like, they're top heavy. They still are, in my opinion. Not to say that, like, Volpe and Verdugo and those guys can't string innings together, but if you can limit those guys, you can win. It's just, do I trust the Dodgers pitching staff to do? It's amazing. You look at this pitching staff; it's amazing. They're in the World Series, to be honest, but the reason they are is because their offense can throw up 10, 12 runs on you. So I always say good pitching beats good hitting, but I'm going to go against my, I'm going to be sacrilegious and take Dodgers in 6, but I think the Yankees can outpitch the Dodgers. But the Dodgers aren't a team that goes, like, they're not like the Phillies where it's all home runs. Like, they can, like, Max Muncy can just hit doubles.
Yeah.
Mookie can hit, like, they can beat you in different ways, where the Phillies were like all or nothing, basically. On paper, it's really hard. Like I said, I picked Dodgers in 6. That's what I'm just gonna close it off by that. But it's really, there's so many things that can go the Yankees' way. There's so many things that could go it's complete toss up to me.
I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be uh, a monumental World Series, something that hasn't been seen for a long time. This will match up to, I think, the 2015 or 2016 Guardians or Indians back then, and the Cubs, two teams that won
Yeah, that
for a
was a
long
great
time.
one.
That was a great World Series, but this has been 41 years in the making, and the two highest payrolls in baseball, the two biggest stars in baseball. This is going to be a good one. It's going to be East Coast, West Coast, not like that rapper bullshit back in the 2000s and 90s, but a little bit different. But this one's going to be good. I want to say Yankees in 7, but I just think because the Dodgers have been licking the jar for a long time. They got that 2020 COVID championship, which is, well, whatever, you don't really count it, and they've been around for a long time, and just the Otani factor is because he's hitting something like stupid like 880 with runners in scoring position, like, and that's video game, like, and that I'm not making that podcast shit up, like he's hitting, like, it's ridiculous. He gets do they pitch around him? I would base load, give the Barry Bonds effect, pitch around the guy and put him on base with bases loaded. This might be the Otani World Series. This might be his actual, like, I'm the best in the world. I got paid $70 million a year. He's only making $1 million, whatever. If someone offers me 70, I'm only taking 1. I need a new agent. But it's I think that, I hate to say it, but I think the Dodgers win this one in probably 7. Because the Yankees pitching is better than Dodgers pitching, but I just think pitching, hitting, it's going to go Dodgers in 7. The home field advantage. What happened here? You have a guy. I don't know what happened there. Just
Yeah.
you have a guy who does it all in Judge, and Stanton does hit well in Dodger Stadium, but I just think this Otani goes above and beyond, and who knows? Who knows? Does this guy, this unicorn, come out of the bullpen in Game 6 or 7 to finish it all off? Who knows? Like, it's, but I think
That
the
would be,
Dodgers in 6, Dodgers in 7. It's I think this is an Otani World Series. I hate that as a Yankee fan, but I just think that it's just one of those things that that Kevin Dodgers in 7, if Freeman can get healthy, Dodgers in 6. Yeah, a lot of people picking Dodgers. They are, but and I
Yeah, but
think I think this is the Ohtani World Series. I really do.
when a lot of people are picking a team though, that's scary. Like I see a path for the Yankees. Like if the pitching can be dominant, um, that's how the pitching has to be dominant. Because I think they put up runs. Because like I said, I mean Yamamoto shake like that's what scares me about how the Dodgers. What's the Dodgers' path to victory here is like it's offense. Because like I just think Yamamoto can get shelled, Flaherty could get shelled. I don't see Garrett. We saw Garrett Cole get shelled before.
Earl Hershiser ain't coming out of the bullpen for the Dodgers.
No, the Dodgers are they're
Fernando
like
Valenzuela, who passed away yesterday or last night, he ain't coming out of that bullpen for the Dodgers. So the Dodgers pitching is shaky. I get that, 100%. But man,
I
that
think
lineup is good.
if the Yankees had more than Judge, Soto, and Stanton,
Stanton.
I think they would. It wouldn't be. I'd give them a massive advantage because they're pitching. But when their lineup is like, if you can, like Judge has been. I mean, he's come alive a little bit lately, but for most of his postseason career, he's not been. He's kind of A-Rod-esque, where it's like, okay, where the fuck is he in the postseason? But
Verdugo stinks. Jazz Chisholm Jr. stinks. Uh,
Austin,
you'll get a little bit out of Gleyber Torres has been a very good leadoff guy.
yeah, he's been. What about Austin Wells and Volpe
Well,
and
you're not getting anything from your catcher. So that's 3 guys who aren't getting a hit like in the next month.
Volpe? You don't know.
Volpe's been good ish.
Ish, yeah.
Ish.
You don't know. You don't. Yeah. You don't have like it's not G-Rod or Jeter Rod. I don't know what it's Jeter, A-Rod, Posada to share. Like it's like, Jesus God, how
Yeah.
do you get through this? You can't. There's guys you can navigate through the Yankees lineup. The Dodgers lineup is a lot more from top. Like Freddie Freeman, if he gets good, like if he gets, oh my God, he's a one-man wrecking crew. Bullpen's fact. Yeah, I mean that helps. Just hopefully you get to
Well,
4
the
or
thing
5
is,
innings.
Kevin, I agree with you, Kevin Wilson, Belly Up Sports Senior Writer. I agree with you, but the Yankees bullpen's been, you know what, pretty
Yeah.
fucking good.
It's
If not good, pretty fucking great.
an X factor. It's got to be Clay Holmes. It's got to be.
On the negative side for the Yankees, like
Well,
if Holmes is good, if Holmes is just good, the Yankees probably win. He has
I
to be
don't know.
good.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I see what you mean. I don't know if I can go. They probably. I don't.
If he's Clay Holmes, if he's September Clay Holmes, the Yankees are screwed.
Yes, if he's horrible, they have no shot. If he gives up a run or two, I still think they have a shot. Like he can't. He doesn't have to be dominant, but he can't be like, holy shit, who is this guy? Like, why is he in the? Why do they even have him in there? Type like he can't be that bad. I don't know. I mean, I'm a little bit worried the Dodgers could go down 0-2. I mean, looking at the pitching, like if it's Cole against Flaherty, Flaherty's got to give you 4 or 5 innings. Like, there's no way you can have a fucking bullpen game 1. Like, that's a horrible situation. I mean, we've seen teams do it and navigate through, but that's not ideal. And then Yamamoto in game 2, I'm like neither of those guys instill confidence. Like, I want to trust me, Brent. You're probably the coolest Yankees fan I've ever talked to because the ones these people I'm around will never ever shut up about 27 and this and pinstripes and that and this every day. But
I could give a fuck.
I root against them with all my being. I like Judge. Like I don't hate individual players. I hate Soto. I can't stand him. I couldn't stand him ever since he did the shuffle.
I didn't know half a second. I was talking to some baseball guy here at Spit Stadium on Monday morning. Sorry, when after it was all said and done, the Yankees advanced, and I said, "Jesus Christ!" I said, "It wasn't that many years ago, and if Soto was up to bat in the 10th inning of a playoff game, he would have, when he's staring down the pitcher and doing his little dance and shuffle, he would have got the next pitch right between the eyes. like right in the face. Like to put a guy on
Nolan
base.
Ryan.
He
Nolan
with two
Ryan.
guys on. I'm hitting this fucker. Like
Yeah, Nolan
Nolan,
Ryan
if
would
Nolan Ryan, like right there, if Nolan Ryan had Soto on Saturday night in the 10th, Ryan plugs him because he knows he's striking out the next guy. He goes, "Fuck you, you little prick. Watch this." Guaranteed.
Judge is impossible to hate for me. Like
He's just he's a good guy. Plays the
he's
game.
class
Plays hard.
personified.
Class guy.
Yeah,
Class guy.
class through and through. But my God, I mean, when they got Soto, I was like, that is like like you talk about. This is the worst matchup for me. That was like the worst combination. Like, and there's rumors like the Phillies are gonna go all out for like if they get him, I will be disgusted. I hope he goes to the Mets. I mean, I hope the Mets don't win anything, but I hope he goes away from the Yankees and not to the Phillies and ends up in Queens, I guess. But
Yeah, it's Queens.
they just don't win. I think it would be funny they win nothing and he just goes there for. I mean, he got the one in Washington, so it's not like he walks away with nothing. But Harper's the one that missed out. He left and then they won. That's a kick in the balls for sure. But
he's not as big of a loser as Mike Trout is.
Definitely not. I mean, he at least goes out. He at least plays through injuries. I mean, Trout doesn't.
Kevin, we'll have to have you on the show next couple of days. Yeah, any pitcher in the 60s or 70s, even the 80s, drill Soto right between the eyeballs, and it would have been. I said it on Saturday night, and I'll say it again, man. It was, man. Nolan Ryan would have just killed that guy. Well, you remember the great one of the best pitchers in baseball history is not like pictures, like photos, is when Robin Ventura runs out to the mound to take on Nolan Ryan. Nolan's just pumpernickel him into the head, something else, and yeah, no, it's going to be. Aaron, once again, great. Thanks for having me on the show tonight. Great baseball talk, got a little football. Anytime we can bash NFL, I'm all for it, man. If you want to call me every morning of the week, we can just do this nonstop, man. I love it.
Maybe Roger Goodell slide us a check to shut up about like us bashing the product so much. I mean, maybe that'll work because everybody has to bow down and like just obey the NFL and like we kind of give. I don't know.
I never will.
There's so many people out there, even in our circle, that just live, breathe, eat NFL, and they can have it. Like I said, I don't hate it, but it's. I don't get all the hype around it until the playoffs. I really the week to week hype around the NFL is mind blowing to me.
I'm in a pick 'em pool. I went 10-5 this week. Didn't watch a game. So I think I'm in fourth. I haven't watched the game. Whatever. And so
it's something that it's sports, but it's
fun.
Like watered down. It's watered down to me. It's just
so I gave the my phone to the wife tonight. We're at the local watering hole before we came on the air tonight, and I said, "You pick this week." She goes, "I don't know who's playing." I said, "Who cares?" She'll go 11. She'll go 11 and 5, 11-4, guaranteed.
Very well, might.
Whatever. No, Aaron, thanks a lot for coming on the show again. It was a lot of fun. We'll get in touch probably next week or before the World Series is over. But it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be. I'm excited. I'm not at nervous stage yet. I think on about Friday around 2:00 is when I'm gonna be like, oh fuck, we're doing this. Like we're really doing this.
I did want to ask you before we get out. Are you a guy that because the Super Bowl? I mean, you don't really care about the Super Bowl, but if it because it's a potentially 7-game ordeal, are you gonna watch all the games with the same TV? Are you gonna go out for some of the when it's a series like this? It's kind of like, do you wing it game by game, or are you like, I have to be in one place for every game, first pitch?
I will be down here in the Yankee Tavern North watching the games. I've invited a few Yankee people and baseball people to come over and watch. I'm not going out anywhere to watch this because I don't need to be answering questions. Because we'll talk afterwards. I don't need to be talking between pitches or between innings about. So what's going on? Fuck off. I'm watching. It's my team. Like this is my team. I'm watching this game. If you want to come into my realm, Here's the rules. They'll be on the board. Let's watch the game. I'm not going out to watch this thing. No, I'm a superstitious guy when it comes to that.
Are,
I'll
are
go out.
you?
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say hypothetical, right? Just because like I want to throw an oddball. If the Yankees go down 0-2, do you go out for game? Like, are you like fuck it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Like Deanne will tell her to wear something different. We're not wearing that hat. If it goes down 0-2, wewe're changing things up.
I just wanted to know.
Like I actually we're talking about it at the stadium. We have a big screen, so we might put it up there. So on Monday and Tuesday, might go there and watch the game. If things don't go well on Friday and Saturday, might go to Spit Stadium and watch the game on the big screen there on Monday and Tuesday. Who knows? But yeah, so no. I'm very superstitious. If it goes bad Monday, Tuesday, I'll probably switch things up. But I'm gonna sit down here in the tavern on Friday night and just take it in and hope and swear a lot. Swear
I kind of
guaranteed.
as much as I'm not a Yankee guy, I kind of wish game 1 and 2 were in Yankee Stadium because it just hits. I mean, the East Coast hits different in the playoffs. Like,
it does 100%.
It'll be like game 3. I'm looking forward to that just because the atmosphere will be off the like Dodger Stadium. Yeah, it's rowdy, but it's still California.
Not Yankee
Stadium. It doesn't hit the same.
Yeah, I've been to both places a number of times, and the Yankee teams, it's just different. It just hits different. It's it's different. I love them both, but the Yankee team just hits different. So, anyways, that was fun. Good show.
Always, always a good time.
Anyways,
It's kind of sad baseball. I mean, as much as like this matchup is going to be the death of me. Then we wait for pitchers and catchers to report, which is like
pitch and catch only 4 months away. Then we can quit complaining, right?
Well, when you say it, oh man, 4 months is like, to me that feels way. That's like it should be 2 months away. I can manage then, but
no, it's gonna be fine. Aaron, tell us about Bruliana Sports and the Wisconsin and everything got going on. I mean, you're on the air just as much as I am now.
I'm trying to be. Yeah, I had to take a flyer last night. Just got too busy, but we're trying to do. Well, we have been doing Tuesday night, Friday night, Sunday night. Trajan at Wisconsin Sports in the Go. I'm gonna. He's definitely wants to keep plugging away at it, and I'm gonna do my best. He's more of an NBA guy than me for sure. Like I am. The NBA is just. But
fuck.
I'm gonna try
a great
and
big bag of who gives a fuck right there for me.
I like I tell you. I mean, some guys like the NFL. Some guys like. I can't even really get into college basketball. Basketball has kind of escaped me. I've ascended into like the NHL realm. I don't even really get into that too much, but give me the 2 to watch and I'll watch NHL. But it's we're going forward with that. Just trying to, like you said, just trying to be on the airwaves as much as possible and being on TikTok and kind of doing my own thing over there. So just really honest sports wherever. And if anybody wants to, collab or we can do maybe we can talk baseball, Brent and I, with some belly up guys over the off. Like if we can talk baseball once a week, even cool with me, because like the baseball crowd is kind of, I guess I could say it's far and few between as far as the podcast. Everybody wants to talk NFL and everything else. So,
well, they aren't smart like me and you are, Aaron. That's one of those things. Anyways, the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, 4 Beer Sports talking a whole lot more. Tonight's show is brought to you by SeatGeek.com, the SeatGeek app. Use promo code 1420SEAT at SeatGeek.com today and save yourself $20 in your first purchase. Belly up, thank you very much. Go Yankees. Great. You don't agree with me, Aaron, but keep your stick on the ice. And what else, Aaron?
You can't have, who would it be? Can't have Stanton swinging at the high pitches.
Don't have Stanton swinging at the high pitches. Have a good night, folks. We will talk to you again tomorrow.